Hi friends, Tessa here, the Artful Colorist. Welcome back to my Coloring and Creative Corner. I wanted to bring you something that I'm very excited and I had so much fun with this. I used one of Johanna Basford's Christmas book pages from her Christmas book, and I used some Van Gogh watercolor paint or Van Gogh watercolor paint. I have a 10 set that I bought years ago. I don't know, I think I bought it for college. In this video, I am using the Eucharist, I think I'm butchering that, I know I am, synthetic round 2, a brush for most of the painting, and then I use a Winsor&Newton Script Gold 2 Sable and synthetic, if I can say that word, synthetic brush. I also used some white gouache, but it didn't really work out because it kind of faded after I placed it. After it dried, it wasn't as intense that I wanted. I could have used a white gel pen, but I really wanted to stick with like brush mediums like gouache, acrylic, or watercolor to really kind of take the advantage of this new kind of me trying to embrace using a paintbrush, not just falling back on my laurels or falling back on my comfort zone of using markers or pens or colored pencils. I really wanted to take that time to really use a brush. You'll notice that the white at the end, when I placed the white highlights and stuff, I had already placed white highlights there. That was because of the gouache. The gouache for some reason it wasn't as opaque, and it kind of faded into the color underneath it. So unfortunately I tried to go back with some white acrylic. Unfortunately, it wasn't really what I was expecting either, so I'm gonna have to play around with that, and maybe I'll have to just suck it up and say that if I am going to want to add highlights to my piece like I normally do, I'm gonna just need to use a white gel pen. So I have to say, with this, it was really nice and really exciting and comforting to be able to say I tried a new medium, but I kind of approached it in the same way I approached my colored pencils. Because when I use my colored pencils, I tend to like to do light layers and then blend them out with some mineral spirit. And I found that works really well for me. And so I kind of took this approach like, okay, how do I normally color something? If it's markers, colored pencils, you name it, how would I approach that? And it was really neat because I kind of approached it like that. I didn't think of it as this is watercolor. I thought of this as, okay, I am using watercolors, but I'm going to use them in the way I know how to use, how I sit down and kind of mindlessly color or mindlessly do my kind of get in that zone. And I found that this was really therapeutic. It was really nice to be able to just put down these flat washes and then come back and then layer another darker color over the top and kind of work through that kind of process. And it was so fun and enjoyable that if you guys like this, I will be doing more of these kind of videos. That's pretty much it. It was just one of those things where I had to take a step back and realize that if I'm going to tell myself I'm not rushing it. And maybe in the future, once I get this watercolor stuff down, in the sense of being able to do adult coloring with it, I'm going to start doing more, maybe my own original pieces. I don't know. It's just one of those things where I'm kind of debating on if I just want to keep that for my sketchbook stuff for right now and then move forward with that. So it's a struggle. I mean, I'm one of those people that would love to use every medium out there, and I would love to know everything about it and get the ins and outs. And unfortunately for me, it's impossible for me to understand and enjoy every medium out there. There are probably going to be a medium like oil pastels and oil paints. I mean, I've never used oil paints. I have in the past used some oil pastels as a kid, and I do have a video that I did an oil pastel review. I don't think it's the best thing I've ever done, and I don't think it's something that I'll pursue in the future. I can't say I won't ever. I might. I mean, I did do in junior high and high school, I did work with some oil pastels to do a couple pieces, but it was never something that it was like, oh, I gotta use oil pastels. And I'm not one of those artists that doesn't mind getting dirty. I just prefer to have something that I can kind of work on and then walk away and then come back if I need to, or work and then kind of be able to take like these mindless breaks or these breaks between doing the process. And I think watercolor in this kind of setting allows me to walk away from the piece and then come back to it, because I have to let things dry. So it gives my mind time to kind of refocus and figure out what the next step is going to be in my head. And I really enjoyed this. I found this one to be so fun and so enjoyable, and there will be more of this kind of stuff in the future, so hang tight. And I know this is kind of a long video, and I also am going to have even a longer video. I'm going to post this video up, and then right after it I'm going to post a few probably a few hours later, I'm going to post the speed coloring of this piece up, and then I will have or the real-time coloring of this. So I'll have this version here, and then the real-time version will come up. I'll post it today, or maybe even tomorrow, a little bit later, so that you guys can, if you guys really truly want to see how I did this process and how I kind of worked through, you'll notice that throughout painting this piece, I actually changed kind of the style, or kind of changed the direction or the technique. Yeah, I changed the technique throughout it, and you'll notice that I tried to kind of figure out how this medium works and where it's blending out and how I can blend it out and what I need to do. And when you see my hand, if it goes off to the left hand side, it's me wiping my brush off after adding water or picking up more paint on my brush. I know this is kind of hard to see because of the way that this is edited. Well, I needed to speed this up so fast that you guys weren't able to see all the strokes and all the kind of the movement of my hand. So I apologize on that. But if you guys do want, come and take a look, and you can kind of check out the longer version of this video. So if you guys want to see more detail, or more in detail, of me creating this piece. So yeah, stick around, and I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I will talk to you guys in another video. Bye. Hi friends, I just wanted to come back and kind of jump in here real quick and apologize that I did not get any of this like the blue gradient or the teal gradient that I have laid down on the background between the wood branches or the wood kind of work on this Christmas tree or this tree, whatever way you want to look at it. But I do kind of go in and show you guys how I add the highlights and add extra kind of little kind of depth and stuff to the overall piece. I wish I totally I got so wrapped into kind of creating this piece that I just kept going, and I totally forgot that I sat back down at my desk and in my coloring corner and I forgot to hit record. So I apologize on that, and I also apologize that then if you guys go back and watch the longer version of this video, that you will see that some of the images are upside down. I forgot to flip that, so maybe in the future I'll go back and re-edit that video and flip it. At the moment I want to get that out to you guys as soon as possible, so I hope you guys can deal with that. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys again. Bye! Also, here's me adding the white acrylic paint to this piece because I forgot to record adding the gouache.